Welcome to World Fact Finder. In this episode, we will discuss 100 mind-blowing, random, and interesting facts about literally everything too weird to be true. Part 17. Let's get started. Number 1. The U.S. government took the land on which Mount Rushmore was built from the Sioux Nation and developed Mount Rushmore on sacred Sioux grounds without any compensation. The U.S. government has offered over $1 billion in compensation, but the Sioux refused to take it, saying the land was never for sale. Number 2. Claims by yogurt companies in the U.S. that probiotic yogurt has beneficial health effects have all been rejected in the EU due to insufficient research and thus inconclusive proof. Number 3. There are thought to be 100,000 uncharted mountains under the sea. Number 4. Carrots used to be available in purple and white until the 17th century, when Dutch farmers succeeded in growing the first orange carrots in honor of the ruling house of Orange-Nassau No. 5. Pope Francis worked briefly as a chemical technician and nightclub bouncer before entering the seminary. Number 6. Pizza boxes, or any cardboard or paper with grease soaked into it, aren't usually recycled. Number 7. The film Top Gun was made in collaboration with the Pentagon, and enlistment spiked when it was released. The Navy set up recruitment tables at theaters playing the movie, and polls soon showed rise in confidence in the military. Number 8. It isn't base jumping, but rather BASE jumping. It refers to the 4 categories of fixed objects from which one can jump: building, antenna, span, and earth. Cliff. Number 9. For those who have trouble sleeping, researchers say that 1 week of camping without electronics usually resets our biological body clock and synchronizes our melatonin hormones with sunrise and sunset. Number 10. Since many female insects mate just once in their lives, insect populations can be controlled by releasing swarms of sterile males into the wild. The females mate with them, never have babies, and die. The method has eradicated populations of dangerous insects in several regions. Number 11. Paper can be recycled only 6 times. After that, the fibers are too weak to hold together. Number 12. Sir Geoffrey Hudson, the court dwarf of Charles I, challenged a man who insulted him to a duel on horseback. The man thought it was a joke and showed up to the duel with a water gun instead of a real pistol. Unfortunately, Hudson was quite serious and shot the man in the head, killing him. Number 13. In 2010, police in Belfast, Northern Ireland, used music from ice cream vans to calm angry teen rioters. Number 14. Early humans in Southern America hunted car-size armadillos and used their shells for houses. Number 15. The bottle of Heinz tomato ketchup specifically mentions tomato in the name because when it was introduced, ketchup of varieties other than tomatoes was common. Number 16. Every Purple Heart awarded by the U.S. military since 1945 is one of the 500,000 Purple Hearts manufactured in anticipation of U.S. casualties resulting from the invasion of Japan, but was prevented by dropping the atomic bomb. Number 17. The Playboy Bunny outfit was the first service uniform registered with the United States Patent and Trademark Office. Number 18. Woody Harrelson's dad was a hitman and died in prison while serving a life sentence for killing a federal judge. Number 19. In 1518, a dancing plague struck Strasbourg, Alsace, France, whereby hundreds of people danced fervently in the streets over the period of a month. Some suffered heart attacks or strokes, and many others died from sheer exhaustion. The phenomenon remains unexplained. Number 20. UPS had problems recruiting drivers when expanding in Germany because the brown uniform looked like Nazi youth group uniforms. UPS had to change the color to green. Number 21. All pandas are owned by China. They rent them out to zoos for $1 million per year each, for a minimum of 10 years. Number 22. There is a Royal Navy superstition that whistling on a ship can summon strong winds. Traditionally, the only person allowed to whistle is the ship's cook, as it means he's not eating the food. Number 23. A nickname was originally an econame, literally meaning additional name. Over the years, the word was misdivided into a nickname. Number 24. The German invasion of the Soviet Union caused 95% of all German army casualties that occurred from 1941 to 1944. Number 25. While directing Jurassic Park, when Spielberg saw CGI of T-Rex, he said to stop-motion animator Phil Tippett, "You're out of a job," to which Tippett replied, "Don't you mean extinct?" Spielberg later incorporated this dialogue into the movie. Number 26. Many personal checks written by Marlon Brando were often never cashed, as his signature was usually worth more than the amount on the check number 27. A 2012 episode of Peppa Pig was banned from Australia, as the central message that spiders were not to be feared was deemed inappropriate for an Australian audience. Number 28. During World War II, American factory workers produced more than twice their German counterparts and had 4 times the output of Japanese workers, prompting industrialist Donald Douglas to observe, "Here's proof that free men can outproduce slaves." Number 29. A third of all divorce filings of 2011 in the U.S. contained the word Facebook. Number 30. A guide dog calmly led 30 people down 1,463 steps out of the World Trade Center on 9/11, despite the confusion, smoke, and noise around them. Once safe, the dog then helped a woman who was blinded by the debris. Number 31. Firefighters would hide in ground zero rubble so that dogs could find survivors. Constantly finding bodies was leading to high stress in the dogs, as they thought they were failing. Number 32. Because of a design flaw, when Apple III owners had problems, like garbled data, they were instructed to lift the machine 3 inches and drop it in order to reseat the chips on the logic board. Number 33. When the African gray parrot Nkisi first met Jane Goodall, he recognized her from a photograph and asked, "Got a chimp?" It is claimed that this was a possible display of a sense of humor. Number 34. When curry was introduced into Japan, it was considered a British dish, not an Indian one, because of its popularity among British sailors. Number 35. Traditional naming customs of Iceland differ in that they follow no family lineage. Men are named after their father, i.e., if John has a son named Olaf, his name is Olaf Jonsson. If Olaf then has a son named Magnus, his name is Magnus Olafsson. Women are similar with the suffix dotter. Number 36. When it became apparent that Israel was going to win the 1978 Eurovision Song Contest, most of the Arabic countries ended their transmission of the contest. This includes Jordan, who replaced the live broadcast with a picture of daffodils, and later announced that Belgium had won. Number 37. In 1983, Marvel Comics actually published a number of comics about a spider pig, though his name was Peter Porker, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Ham. Number 38. If you shout or make a sound that is 1,100 decibels, it will create a black hole destroying our galaxy. Number 39. Louis Armstrong played the trumpet so much that it caused callous tissue on his lips. He would remove it himself with a razor blade. Number 40. Cats, unlike dogs, cannot, for physiological reasons resulting in blindness and death, Be vegetarian. Number 41. Some of the worst charities donate less than 4% of their donations to the actual cause they're promoting. One cancer charity even paid $18 million to a company to solicit funds, the company being owned the charity president's son. Number 42. Upon his death, TV star Jack Benny's widow, Mary, received a red rose. After several days, with another rose delivered each day, Mary called to find out who was sending them. The florist told her that Benny made arrangements for a rose to be sent to her every day for the rest of her life. Number 43. While James Cameron was stricken with food poisoning in Rome on a film set, he had a nightmare about an invincible robot hitman sent from the future to kill him, giving him the idea for the Terminator, catapulting his career. Number 44. In 1984, Robert Patrick, the actor who played T-1000 in Terminator 2, was involved in a boating accident and he swam for 3 hours to get help for others. Number 45. About 70% of the spices used in the world come from India. Number 46. Professional porn censors in China get paid to watch over 150 pornographic DVDs each week, start to finish. Number 47. Apple got the idea of a desktop interface from Xerox. Later, Steve Jobs accused Gates of stealing from Apple. Gates said, "Well, Steve, I think it's more like we both had this rich neighbor named Xerox, and I broke into his house to steal the TV set and found out that you had already stolen it." Number 48. Chocolate milk was invented by Jamaicans, which was popularized in Europe by an Irish botanist who sold it as medicine. Number 49. In the 10th century lived a Syrian poet named Al-Ma'ari, who was attacking dogmas of religion and rejecting Islamic or any other religion claims, and could freely express his opinions in Arabic lands without fear of his life. In 2013, almost 1,000 years after his death, a jihadist group beheaded his statue. Number 50. During the Middle Ages, thousands of black cats were killed due to superstition, with the unintended consequence of increasing the rat population. It was one of the main reasons the plague killed millions. Number 51. In 1976, both Republicans and Democrats signed a Declaration of Interdependence stating that exploitation of the poor by the rich and the weak by the strong violates our common humanity, and resources of the globe are finite, not infinite. Number 52. While Hollywood and cartoons often depict nuclear waste as a gooey, lime-green glowing substance, in reality, it is usually an innocuous-looking, colorless, contaminated water. Some materials do glow, like the radium Marie Curie worked with, but that glows blue, not green. Number 53. The flag of Nova Scotia was only officially adopted in 2013, after 155 years of use, when an 11-year-old girl researching a project realized that it had never been officially recognized in all that time. Number 54. IKEA is registered as a non-profit organization dedicated to furthering the advancement of interior design. This lets them pay a fraction of taxes they otherwise would. The owners make money by licensing the IKEA trademark to the non-profit side. Number 55. In 2008, when Gordon Ramsay was filming in Iceland, he lost his footing and fell during a descent off an 85-feet cliff, landing in the icy water below. His film crew reported he was submerged for at least 45 seconds. Number 56. Kent's, a major tobacco company, sold unique cigarette filters in the 1950s and advertised their health benefits. The advertised ingredient that set them apart was asbestos. Number 57. There is something known as ruin value, a concept that a building be designed such that if it eventually collapsed, It would leave behind aesthetically pleasing ruins that would last far longer without any maintenance at all. Number 58. The author of the science fiction novel Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, published in 1968, said, "There will come a time when it isn't, 'They're spying on me through my phone' anymore. Eventually, it will be, 'My phone is spying on me.'" Number 59. The movie previews used to be shown at the end of a movie, which is why they are referred to as trailers. Number 60. A Hungarian man named Bela Kiss murdered 24 women and attempted to pickle their bodies in alcohol before enlisting to fight in World War I. When his crimes were discovered, he evaded capture and was never heard from again. Number 61. There exists a treatment for cystic fibrosis that involves actually inhaling genes to attempt to repair the disease. Number 62. Mike Tyson was arrested 38 times by the time he turned 13. Number 63. One man was caught twice on To Catch a Predator. The second time was less than a week after his court date for the first one. It was so soon that Chris Hansen recognized him. Number 64. Nearly 70% of the 99,000 weapons seized in Mexico in connection with criminal activity from 2007 to 2011 came from the United States. Number 65. One American consumes the same amount of resources as 32 Kenyans per year. Number 66. Feeders of lice was a job in Nazi-occupied Poland, where individuals were wrapped with lice cages to serve as blood farms and food for disease-carrying lice. These cages were used to develop typhus vaccines. Number 67. Zimbabwe's bank balance was $217 at the start of 2013. Number 68. More than 50% of sloth deaths occur on their once-a-week trip to the ground to dig a hole and defecate. Number 69. George Foreman named all 5 of his sons George Foreman. Number 70. SS Judge Georg Conrad Morgan investigated corruption and murder in Nazi concentration camps. He investigated more than 800 people for criminal activity in the camps over a period of 2 years. He prosecuted so many people that Heinrich Himmler had to directly order him to stop. Number 71. There is a secret room inside Mount Rushmore that contains porcelain enamel panels containing texts from the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights sealed in a teakwood box, placed in a titanium vault, and sealed shut under the weight of a 1,200-pound granite capstone. Number 72. In 1986, a federal prisoner escaped during a prisoner transfer. A week later, he returned in a stolen helicopter and broke out his girlfriend. Number 73. In 1851, when the refrigerated ice machine was patented, the large ice importing industry ran a smear campaign against the technology, calling it immoral. Number 74. In 2009, archaeologists unearthed the oldest musical instruments ever found. There were flutes that inhabitants of southwestern Germany laboriously carved from bone and ivory at least 35,000 years ago. Number 75. The largest centipede which ever existed, 280 million years ago, was tall enough to rear up and look a human in the eyes. Number 76. Samuel L. Jackson had "Bad Motherfucker" engraved on the lightsaber that he used in Star Wars. Number 77. John Marley's scream of terror after seeing the horse head in The Godfather is genuine, as they used a fake in rehearsals and swapped for a real head during shooting without Marley's knowledge. Number 78. Sony, after the 2012 security breaches, changed PSN user agreement to require users to agree not to sue Sony over any future security breach. Number 79. At Andrew Jackson's funeral in 1845, His pet parrot had to be removed because it was swearing. Number 80. There's a coast-to-coast hiking trail called the American Discovery Trail that connects Delaware and California. Number 81. In April 2013, someone hacked the Associated Press's Twitter account and tweeted that 2 bombs had exploded at the White House. The stock market crashed within seconds, only to recover the same day once the tweet was discovered to be a hoax. Number 82. Volkswagen was sued by Czechoslovakian carmaker Tatra before World War II because the original Beetle was so similar to the Tatra T97. After Germany invaded Czechoslovakia in 1938, the lawsuit was cancelled by the Nazis. Number 83. The USA recruited 1,600 Nazi scientists and created false employment histories and expunged Nazi party memberships and regime affiliations from the public record. Number 84. Pandas were carnivorous, but they inexplicably lost their appetite for meat during evolution. Number 85. The city of Perth in Western Australia is geographically the most remote city in the world, by land. The nearest city of more than 100,000 people is almost 1,500 miles away. Number 86. England built an underground city in the 1950s to house 4,000 key government employees in case of a nuclear strike, complete with 60 miles of roadways, an underground lake to provide fresh water, and a railway to transport the royal family. It was not revealed to the public until 2004. Number 87. The brain has an automatic penis maintenance function to force erections if unused for too long. Number 88. Most wasabi eaten in the United States is actually just a blend of horseradish, mustard, and food coloring due to the prices of real wasabi. Number 89. Jams are made from fruit, while jellies are made from juice. Preserves have chunks of fruit, conserves have dried fruit or nuts, and marmalades have peel and pulp. Fruit butter is slowly cooked to a smooth consistency. Number 90. Strawberries and peaches in Quaker instant oatmeal are actually flavored dehydrated apples. The blueberries are flavored dried figs. Number 91. Colombian drug trafficker Carlos Leder bought himself an island in the Bahamas, where he put an airstrip which controlled the drugs coming in from South America and entering the U.S. He became so wealthy that he offered to pay Colombia's foreign debt for amnesty. Number 92. Reintroducing wolves to Yellowstone in 1995 changed the entire geography of the park as elk were displaced. Saplings that would have been eaten by elk were spared, riverbank erosion was brought under control, and streams and rivers shifted their courses. Number 93. During World War I, magician Harry Houdini took 1 year off performing to help sell war bonds and teach American soldiers how to escape from German handcuffs. Number 94. At the height of the Irish potato famine in 1847, almost 4,000 ships carried food from Ireland to England and Scotland, while 400,000 Irish died of starvation and related diseases. The same year, a Native American tribe sent $710 to help ease the suffering. Number 95. The inventor of upside-down ketchup bottle earned $13 million for this invention. Number 96. For his time as James Bond, Daniel Craig has the privilege of taking any Aston Martin from the factory for the rest of his life. Number 97. Jeremy Clarkson once published his bank account number and sort code to prove that the information couldn't be used to steal money. Someone used it to set up a monthly direct debit from his bank account to a charity. Number 98. In 2006, a Norwegian coach gave a ski pole to a Canadian skier, allowing her to go on to win a silver medal. Canadian citizens were so touched by this that they collectively gave him 5.2 tons of maple syrup. Number 99. Jules Verne wrote the novel Paris in the 20th Century back in 1863 and described a world of glass skyscrapers, high-speed trains, gas-powered automobiles, calculators, and a worldwide communications network. Number 100. There is a fake village in Netherlands with fake shops and restaurants that are actually a care home for elderly with dementia. Thanks for watching. Like and comment if you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe and activate notifications so you don't miss the next interesting facts. See you in our next video.